Welcome, Democrats. Thank you all for coming to this February 1st Friday. Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, sorry, excuse me. We'll do that. This meeting is second if you are fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated. Live streamed on Facebook Live. You know, we have some people that were watching there that didn't want to come today either because of the pandemic or they just joining us on the live stream. I'm going to get some preliminary stuff out of the way. For this time, I would like to call up all. We can start with candidate in District 1, Kathy Brown.
In the Algodones area, for example, we have a significant problem with trash, with speeding, and then we also have a trestle where the train comes through that is quite a hazard there. There's an
We have two more people that I'd just like to. Professor Linda Gallegos.
Work together, so we're going to reach out to the federal money, state money. So, and also, I'd like to keep working towards keeping our police force fully staffed, which right now our police force, we're at 25 fully staffed, fully vehicles, body cams, and the same thing goes with our fire department, fully staffed. Anything they need, they come forward. We fund it or can't find anybody for it. So I like working in Bernalillo because when people call me for a problem, if I don't have a problem in 10, 15 minutes, I say, I call the director and they let me know what the problem is or why it's going to be fixed or why it's fixed. And then I also give them their number to verify what they just told me. So I always tell people, if you don't see the right answer from me, here's the person you contact. So with all said and done, I would like to continue being the city councilman, and I thank everybody for being here and vote early and often.
Okay. So I have 5 questions. We're really only going to ask 4. But all of these questions that you're about to hear were developed with my conversations with Bernalillo residents, with people that live on the town that have concerns, that wanted to hear how those who are running to represent us would deal with them. I'm thankful to everyone who's come today, to all of the candidates, to those of us for our ability to be putting this forward and out for the town. As far as I know, something like this has not been done before in Bernalillo elections. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But we owe it to each other to ask questions and to think about the future. We owe it to our town. We have a beautiful little place here, and it deserves the right stewardship, the right answers to these questions. So with that being said, I am going to be seated over there. I have a separate mic, which I will turn off because it has feedback issues after I'm done asking my questions. I will call each of you up to the stage randomly, so nobody feels like they're being picked on for going first, okay? And each of you will have 2 minutes to answer these questions or to give your thoughts on them, sort of as a topic. So I'm going to step away. I'm going to get to my other mic. I'm just going to say them, all right?
Okay. You woke us up. You woke us up, Isaac. It's good.
So, the first person I'd like to call to the stage is Billy O'Connor. And the first question I have, many of the town's residents have moved away.
Louder, please.
Many of the town's residents have moved away, specifically to Rio Rancho. Despite wanting to live here in Bernalillo, my question to all of you is, what can be done to make housing more available and to help keep young families here in the town?
Okay, I think the reason why people are moving away because the houses were moving around. If you look at it, we only have like one grocery store here, so we just have to go across the river to get our grocery store. So I'm not sure. I'd have to probably look and see why we're moving away. I think the city gets back to its homegrown roots of offering the service to the people. I'd love to have a hardware store back over here. I hate to run to Home Depot every time, so I think if we concentrate on our development and developing our areas that will soon be available for development in the areas that actually serve the people. So we don't have to go out for accounts, so we can raise a family, do their housework, fix their city halls, or having to go to the grocery stores and doing that. Retirement, there's a lot of retirement people here. I'm one of them, with them here, because of the area here, so I can go to, California or wherever. So I think we've got to make it work. People staying here, I know the Social Security tax, we're taxed here locally for that. I know that's not our local issue, but I think we can do things like that for the people. So we can encourage them to stay here and not have to go elsewhere for the city services. We're doing good now with the hometown feel, but I think as we develop, we'll have to keep that in mind and providing the service to the people with this cake and hot bar. That's, I didn't realize there were so many kids here because I go to the park every day with my dogs. And you never see the kids, but now that the park is here, there's a ton of kids there every day. Those are the things that, as we grow and develop here, that we'll have to keep for our future kids, expand those parks and everything to keep the community here. And the adults, we just have to keep it a place for the people. So it's a place that we want to live, that we don't want to live. And I think we can do that responsibly as long as we speak with the citizens and keep that in mind in development.
Would you like me to rephrase the question? Would you like me to state the question again? No. What would you do to keep young families here in Bernalillo?
A lot of people have moved away because they don't know, for one reason or another, they don't like what's going on. My family moved away, and we have to take care of our own. We can't, if something happens, they say, oh, I don't care. We have to care. If something happens, you go over there and talk to the mayor, talk to the council, talk to somebody, and but because if you decide to move away, nothing is going to get done. Nothing. Either you face, because if something happens to you, you can and you stay here, you can get the help. There's as far as I know, there's no jobs in Bernalillo outside of the city. Working for the city. But the county is not too far away. You can work for the county. You have to talk to people. If you just decide to go out, it's not going to work.
That's a good question. It's funny when I got married in '97. I always wanted to stay in Bernalillo, but at the time there was no work nearby property. And Bernalillo, the one thing that makes it tough, as beautiful as it is a small town, is that there's really not a lot of room to grow. So, it's kind of hard. So two things come up when you ask that question. One, why are they leaving? Is it because there's no land available for them to move? Maybe how do we develop that with the vacant land that is available and make that happen? Because it wasn't until 7 years later that we found property that I was able to move back to Bernalillo, which is where I wanted to be. Or is there another issue? Is it a safety issue or concerns? And you say, well, let's talk to them about why are people leaving? I've had the opportunity growing up here and being involved in the community to talk to the youth, a lot of them. And sometimes they'll say, as soon as I graduate high school, I'm moving. And you wonder why. It's like, what don't you like about Bernalillo? To me, Bernalillo is the best great thing here. It's got that small town feel where, they've known each other their entire lives. They're family. And that's what Bernalillo is. It's a big family.
even everybody's coming and cheering in town because we're all in the community. And so you want to have that same feeling. So to keep on here, you look at what type of growth can we do, and what are the local lands available to develop for homes for people to stay. And that's something that you look at, it's really important. I think that's probably one of the biggest issues that a lot of people need, because there's a lot more land on the west side than there is here. So what can we do to try and develop what we have available for us? And because one person only one chemical, they're not making any more land. So that's what we do.
That's also a good question. I have two boys. One has worked at Sandoval County for 21 years and decided to stay in Burnham. They studied in Burnham. Great appreciate that. My other son left Burnham as an architect in the Austin area, and because of they were paying what they paid in Austin, Denver, Phoenix, maybe. It had nothing to do with it. He didn't like Burnham. He just liked the money better. So anyway, there is a housing project that we just approved, a housing project across the river, and there is a grocery store across the street that a lot of people frequently use that store. Other than that, I would say education for our kids. Once they get educated, they decide to leave for the better town. You can blame them. They will stay. The housing is no fight housing. As far as bringing up the youth and keeping them here, that's by building projects for the youth and have purpose to stay here. For the teaching, working at the county, working at the city, working at the schools. I don't blame them if they get educated and move out. That's their choice. That's what brings their kids up. That's fine with me also. Thank you.
Again, thank you for the question, and it's one that we grapple with locally, we grapple with as a state. We have that drainage. I think it gets back to a lot of things, and I think it's a real complex answer because it's a complex question. Certainly, economics is part of it. And as the counselor mentioned, in my case, my youngest son had opportunities in his field out of state, and he just didn't have those within the state, not just within Bermuda, but within the state. So that's something that I think we have to continue to work with our legislators to find ways to provide opportunities for our kids statewide, because part of the issue is most people who live in Berkeley don't work here. There's a lot of jobs in the industrial park. If you know anybody who's a welder who wants to be a welder, today those jobs are available. So there are opportunities. The other part of it is that it's an economic issue from terms of land. If a young family can get a house for X amount of dollars in a house subdivision in Rio Rancho versus what they would pay for a house in Bernalillo, it's hard to say don't move there when it affects their finances. I think to deal with that, right now the town is working on a comprehensive plan. We've had multiple public hearings, and unfortunately a lot of public hasn't shown up for those. That's when we need people to come forward, and there's still a couple more coming up in the next few months. That's when we need people to come forward and say, this is what's important to us as a community, so we can put that into the formal structure of the town. And the comprehensive plan is the formal guide that helps us in developing our zoning issues and decide how to move forward in the town. We've also done a number of things. Thank you, Bill, for mentioning the state park. I forgot about that. We need to create opportunities for our kids. We have a new skate park, we have a new bike track that we've never had before. We have more parks than we have had before. So again, I think we try to build what we can within the community. We're partnering more and more with the schools, with our new superintendent, and find ways to create opportunities for our kids.
The next question I have, Bernalillo is a small town. We have a strong need for great public servants. What can be done to attract strong talent in policing, emergency response, and town management. I'll call for the stage for
Thank you, President. Safety in the community is very important, and trying to attract qualified individuals to come work for us. It comes down to economics, and what type of funding do we have to take when our people coming from Leo getting certified and going to other departments because they get paid more. And I've seen that happen. So we have to be competitive with our rates, and this way we can attract those individuals to our community so they can better serve us. And then we look at the growth, how fast are we growing? Do we have the regular people? What we're working with our staff? All of those things, it's very, again, another very complex question. But we look at the town and what our growth is like and the growth and how we move forward. But it really, a lot of that comes down to economics and the thinking of how much people can make. Because you don't want them to be trained in our department and leave graduates in our department because they get paid more. And that happens a lot. So I think for those types of positions, the fire and the rescue and police, it comes down to the salary, what can we be competitive with our communities. And so that's what I look at.
Again, I think it's just a process that you can't stop with, and there's a couple of things that are happening. We've developed, as I started to say, the last question, stronger relationship with the Bernalillo Public Schools. We have school resource officers in both Bernalillo Middle School and Bernalillo High School. That's step one. Getting kids to see police officers as in a positive light, not necessarily just when they're getting arrested or when there's a problem. So I think that's number one, creating that relationship. The other thing is this past year, for the first time, we had an intern at work at the police department. That's the kind of relationship that we're going to continue to develop, so we have youth that get exposure to the department and decide maybe this is the right way to go. I think the third thing in terms of town management is we haven't talked at all, or I haven't talked about our community library, community museum, excuse me. Part of the museum is to really leverage our history. We know it's amazing here. But one of the other things we really want to do is use it as a source for economic development. So we have several grants. We just try to acknowledge them, two that were approved. And part of it is going to be to create internships for high school students in multiple departments across the town so they get to know what's here, because there are opportunities. Finding municipal finance people is almost impossible these days. There aren't a lot of people. Finding people with expertise in municipal government is not easy. If we can start growing our own, that's the best opportunity for us. Thanks.
Bernalillo is a small town with the need for strong public service. What can be done to attract strong talent in policing, emergency response, and town management?
Well, I have a female background, and I can tell you, a couple months ago, I've been reviewing the budget. The budget numbers on page right now, but something popped out about our fire rescue, and that's the office, the salary was 1480 or something to that effect. The starting salary for the firefighters. Right. Right. So I think to keep those people here, we have to offer what other departments are. How do you get to that point? Is you do salary survey. When's the last time you did a survey to show that we're paying our people to keep them here? Also, you notice in the budget that so far this year, I think we're 60% through the budget cycle, and you see we've already spent about $200,000 in overtime for fire rescue. So that tells me that we've had a multiple people leave at one time, so we're paying our staff now to do that. So burnout's going to happen really quick if we don't get the people back in place and provide them with the funding for their training. I think if we do that now, we're on our way now. I've been promoting public safety in the sense that our rescue units don't have a paramedic, and I think we're one of the only cities, smaller cities, in the state that doesn't provide that. and we're on it, they're working on that now, but got the stair step and the ladder of our EMS and public safety. Public safety, I think, is the number one issue, not just public safety or fire and EMS, but the public safety, whether it's good roads and sidewalks. I think we do that. As far as the retention, that comes down to the salary and pay. If we don't pay them well, we don't have a stair step for them to stay here, 401 and that type of thing, we'll lose those people, or we'll be in a constant state of training. So we've got to offer the proper incentive for those people to stay here, and we're well on that way. It's not cheap. These people's services cost expense, so we'll have to manage that properly as we go. I know that's how we attract people.
I would like to address that, I believe that our administration, police force, and fire department, I would say that about 70%, 75% have been with us this number of years. The younger firefighters and policemen, they get us benefits of big monies, and we have competition from the surrounding area. We cannot compete with that with officers. So we train them, they go through a process, and then they get offered $50,000 more now. And as far as the work is concerned, we get a lot of people that are offering many other girls. So a lot of that overtime occurs because anytime we have a surplus, the fire department obviously goes there, the paramedics between Sandoval to Sandoval County, and police force, of course. We, like I say, you can't blame somebody for where we're going. We just gave the police force an incentive basically to stay with us, and that's if we ever. But we're always looking areas to look for more monies to acquire duty, finances here, and some of the policemen say, we got Bernalillo, chances are we won't get shot as much as we would officers. That is up to the intention, they don't care what they get paid for that family, they like to pay for that reason. And sometimes, like I say, the younger kids growing up, they want that big money, so they have to be. But as far as the regular staff at City Hall, the department meetings, we've had some more people there, 75% to be with us. They're well trained, they're used as directors, or all Bernalillo, so we do a good job keeping our staff here. Thank you.
I'm just like the mayor, I second the motion to what they said. If we don't try to better ourselves, nothing's going to happen. And if we don't try, they will.
So my next question. I'm just gonna go to the next slide.
Yeah. So my next question, many properties around town remain unutilized and some are in disrepair. How does the town clean up derelict properties and better use its resources?
You're right. Some of these houses that are in disrepair are owned by people that don't live in Bernalillo anymore. They since moved to California, some other states, and it's hard. You have to go to a court process. You got to contact the homeowners, or sometimes it's hard. You're going to go with an address, and put the house in lien, knock it down, and go from there. And we don't like houses abandoned because a lot of the drug kids use it to activities they're not supposed to. Some just use it because that's the only place to live. But last year, I believe that we cleaned up three houses that were in disrepair, boarded up. And once the house doesn't have water, gas, they, the zoning goes in and taxes, board it up, try to notify the owner, and, clean it up, neighbor recorded the lady of the neighbors, and I think that the houses, properties cleaned up, so our code enforcement officer should do a fantastic job, reach out to them, and, it was a safe process, it was in the court, it was the judge gives us too much time to clean it up, or we have to find out who owns the property. So in that sense, we do try everything to come back that area, the people that should be there, by working it up, and keeping it safe.
The question is, many properties around town remain unutilized or in disrepair. How does the town clean up derelict properties and better use?
They have to talk to the owner. And if the owner refuses, they can condemn the property. And when they condemn the property, it goes to, I think it goes to the state. And from there, if they're so unhappy and they don't want to sell, if it's a problem for the city or the county for themselves, the property will be condemned. Whether they like it or not, the property is going to be condemned, and it's up to the city to see what they're going to do with it.
Thank you, Isaac. This is one of those issues that when I first got elected seemed pretty straightforward. There's an abandoned property, go in and clean it up. Well, it's not that straightforward. First of all, you have to find ownership. And in so many cases when you have absentee owners, it may be a bank. And maybe that bank sold the paper to another bank, and they sold it to another bank, another company. So first you've got to find out who owns the property. From that point, we have rights as property owners that the city has to respect. So we do go through the process. It's long, it's slow, it's arduous. The town has done it in several cases. In the best cases, ultimately, we have condemned the property. The council takes that action formally. The property is deemed substandard, and at that point, the town has to make a decision. In many cases, what we've done is pay to have it demolished, to clean up the property, and place a lien on that property. If it gets sold, we get our money back. We've been fortunate, and in every case so far, we've done that. There is a property on Main Street that I hear from people every time I go out, and it's horrific. And that one is in that process now, but as I mentioned before, property owners have rights, and that's appropriate. It's frustrating from the government side in that it takes a long time to get to the point where we can actually take action, but we continue to do that. We basically have to do it on a priority basis because we don't have unlimited funds to deal with every property in Bernalillo that is a problem. And again, as the councilor mentioned, a lot of them are absentee owners. It's a frustrating situation, but we do it a property at a time, and we'll continue to do that.
It's crazy. Like the mayor said, it's, abandoned properties can't be an eyesore or be a problem. I think it comes down to the administration developing those policies and procedures to deal with that situation and make it very transparent to those are and then follow through. And also be held accountable and follow through, making sure that happens. Don't just forget about it. Don't start the process and do it until something is up here. It's those types of things, and it is tough. When you have people who own property and they leave it, it's abandoned. Like they say, I can't see my house. And so that's what happens. You don't see it, they don't care. So it's up to us to just stay on top of it, we follow through, and just be transparent on what we're doing, and follow those policies and procedures. If they need to be adjusted or amended, then we follow through and make sure that happens, and then just follow those procedures.
Incentives. I think if we give folks incentives like we have for our auto every year, we give incentivize people to clean their property up. We already have this in place. about that mentioned foreclosure or citing them. One thing to keep in the city is ourselves. I've been out now in different neighborhoods with my trash bags, and I go out and clean the neighborhood up myself. In my neighborhood, I walk the street every day, so I pick up the trash. I think we need to incentivize people to keep Bernalillo beautiful. And there's just more ways than telling the people to do it. We can encourage them to get out and do it, as I encourage myself and my neighbors to keep our trash in our own property and keep it up. We have a couple of programs down in the city that we have like free trash day. I think we need to build on that and the trash is ours. We need to keep it cleaned up. And that goes for their property as well. We have things in place now in the city to incentivize them to do that. I think we need to encourage citizen activism in keeping our own community clean, whatever that is.
Okay, I've got one last question, and then we'll call it a day. This one's a little bit long, and please tell me if you want me to rephrase it. And it's more of an open-ended question. I don't expect any of you to have like a concrete solution for it. But I want to put this out there, that over the past few years, our relationships with one another have obviously come under strain. The pandemic, polarization, they have taken a toll on our sense of community as a town. At the same time, Bernalillo continues to grow. We're now almost 9,000 people. We've added quite a few residents. We also have a very wide range of incomes, from some of the most poor to some of the most wealthy. So my question to all of you is, what can the town do and what can be done to tie our community together and preserve our rich cultural tradition in the face of such strain?
Good question.
Over the last 2 years, the pandemic has really brought to light a lot of these issues that I think we just asked. And really, growing up, I remember we had this freedom to just travel around. People are more free to talk about it. And I think what we need to do is remember that we have to respect each other first of all, as just people. I mean, depending on how you feel about the pandemic and the vaccination status, what we do, we've got to return respect to each opinions and try to do that. How can we build it? I think the town has done some good things. We're trying to do that. We have a Christmas light parade, we encourage people to do their houses, decorate their houses and try and beautify. And I think it's trying to just get people involved. And I think the more people are involved and come together, then we can build those relationships. You know what I mean? Because we're all part of it. I remember growing up, even like basketball games, trying to get the entire town to show up to support the youth. Getting everybody together helps really build. And so it's hard to get people to get outside of themselves and just get themselves out there. So, trying to just do as a community, as an administration, to try and bring people together and show, go out and talk to people and let people know that they're available and that we're all together in one big family community. And I think that helps. But I think the nutrition to do more things like we have in, with the Christmas lights and those types of things, showing the involvement in the community and how build a strong community. Get us through tough times that we've been. So, thank you. That's one of the biggest problems we have in Bernalillo is people involved. People constantly school board meetings, one of the things that we're here for people to do, get together and ask more questions than the council meeting, the ball game. People love to go all work together a council meeting because they that's the questions, what we had to do last night, we go to the DCT or go to the whole conference, and we always have people. A lot of these questions, let's go to the site last night. And with 100% voting, you need to ask questions, people involved. We're trying to get the youth involved now. We're trying to get this last year, and we're trying to, talking to his high school graduates, let's get involved in the vote. But they have more information. It's outside
city hall. And even the people that don't vote are the first ones that criticize. Main thing is, what I say, people need to get more involved, whether it's in sports, church, any meeting that you have, church policy, there's always people that are going to be involved in church areas. They have to contact those people, go to the meetings, like Midway, go to the meetings, and definitely ask more questions about what's going on in the city, what the people are doing, what we're doing, how many are doing, and you can do it out there. Why don't you get more involved during the meeting? Every time that we have a zoning meeting, we have people go, how do we reach out to who is working on that from year to year? And I know of enough those in your team that has a problem. You see, you have Sunday morning quarterback. And I think that would have to take more time. And our newsletters reach out to a lot of people. Our Facebook reach out to a lot of people. Not everybody gets Facebook, everybody should get that mail. So, I mean, the water bill. So, it's just getting people involved and react to what they need. Thank you.
We need to get the people involved with it. Call the people from the other side of the tracks. Get them involved and tell them, if you're complaining, come to the meeting. When we put within certain groups, because if you're unhappy, if you sit at home and you complain, nothing's going to get done. Get up, get the people involved. What's bothering you? What's bothering you? Let's see, there's going to be a solution. But we have to talk to the people. And they say, well, I don't want to go to the meeting, nothing gets done. Well, you can't tell me there's nothing. We're trying. And if you sit at home and complain, nothing is going to get done. We need you and you and you and everybody to come to the meeting, right?
Echo that is community involvement. Little statistics. Before I started running, I looked at, I got the voter roll here. It's very interesting that we have just under 10,000 people here. We have 5,000 registered voters. In the 2020 election, only 650 currently voted in that election. And so why? You would ask, why aren't they not involved in it? And I think it's all about reaching out to those people individually and as a government. The government is for the people, of the people, so we got to go reach them. I don't think they're going to come to us. For some reason now they're not coming out. When you talk to people, they'll ask what's the number one concern, and they'll answer that they don't feel that their government cares about what they say. Then I'll ask, well, when's the last time you had a meeting to raise your voice of concern? We don't bother with that anymore because we don't feel they are concerned. When's the last time a counselor came out to your house and asked you about what the concerns you have? And a lot of them say they've never been there. So, at least if I'm elected, I will do as I now. I've been over to 100 homes, knocking on the doors and asking people what their opinion is. Number one is involvement in them. They want their opinions heard. They don't feel that happening now. And engage that, you go out to them, you go to their house. I can bring back non-hall meetings that we can get the people involved in, because it's not a government unless it's the people that are involved. It's not a kingship. It's not the government versus us. I believe as a counselor, I would represent the people. I'm not here elected to represent the government. That's the mayor and the city administrator, and we have good ones at. So it's all about us, we the counselors, the elected people representing the people. And we got to get to them. We're going to their houses, we have town halls, but we got to know their opinions before we can proceed as a government. So my number one goal would be to involve the people, whether that's me going out or having meetings, so where they can come to us and voice their concerns in a more than a 3-minute conversation. council meeting. And I think we can do that just by showing the citizens here that we do care, we do understand what they're saying, and we are interested in their concerns, because that's the way we should vote. We listen to the people, we take, and then we vote on our promise of the overall what people are saying. So I think the number one thing is we've got to go with the people. We have to reach the people.
Isaac, I think you hit on probably one of the primary reasons for us to exist, and that's to try and build our community. Growing up here, everybody knew each other. It was a small town, it was a really small town, and it was easy to have community in a lot of ways. We have people now that move into Bernalillo from all over. Some of them have been here 6 months, some of them have been here a couple of years, some of them have been here for generations. And part of our challenge, as I see it, is finding ways to make people feel part of the community. And I think our job or our actions have been to find different ways to do that. I think number one is communication. We work hard on improving our newsletter. And I know people read our newsletter every month because I get emails and calls from people regarding the topics that are in there. And we work hard to make it full of information that will be useful to people. We developed a Facebook page. Not everybody's in Facebook. I have a Facebook page, but I'm not a Facebook person. But there is a segment of our population that is, so we reach out to them that way. The website, less and less people use it, but it is a good function to have, and so we work hard to upgrade that as well. So I think that's the first thing, is you find multiple ways to reach out to people and communicate to them. The other thing that we've done by design is increase the number of events the town has. So COVID actually put a big stop to those events because safety has to come first. But Bernalillo has a lot of events and will continue to do that. Sometimes it's an event that appeals to some people. I'm really proud that we brought our hurricane back to Bernalillo. And we had it several times. That appeals to a certain segment. It appealed to me. But it appeals to a certain segment. We've also had classical guitarists perform here. So again, what we're trying to do is find a wide range of different activities. Some of them traditional, like Vince mentioned, like we brought back the decorating contest for Christmas. That was something that we used to do when I was growing up. It had stopped, we brought it back. Some of them are brand new activities, like having a classical guitarist. That's something new for our community. So again, that's by design. The other thing is the mayor gets a lot of authority to recommend people to the council. So by design, our boards are made up of a wide range of people. And what I don't look for is to say, well, how many generations have you been here, Bernalillo? That's our number one priority. Because to be honest with you, my family has only been here for a couple of generations, not 8 or 10 like some of these gentlemen that are sitting behind me. We look for a variety of people, because that's important, because the resident who moved into Bernalillo 6 months ago is as important to us as a community as every other resident that's lived here for generations. So that's the main job for us, and we'll continue on that path to finally elect.
That is all of my questions. At this point, I'm going to open it up to all of you. If any of you in the audience have questions, please raise your hand and I will come to you. Anybody have any questions? No? No? Oh, Judy?
What do you tell the county commission with how does this impact
Let me restate that on the mic. The question is, what is your view of how county commission redistricting occurred in Sandoval County? And how will it affect your ability to govern the town, and how will you deal with it?
Have to answer politely. The action that the county commission took was a direct slap in the face to our community. I thought it was disrespectful. I'm not sure that it's legal. but it's certainly made crystal clear that we're at the bottom of the totem pole in regards to how they view us. I think it was terrific. I personally felt like, frankly, it was a setup from the beginning. I thought that their hearing was a joke, and the way the action and second took place, like lightning, made it clear to me that that was set up prior to the fact. We will continue to work hard. I made my position clear at the commission meeting. I've spoken to the chairman since, and I'll continue to work hard for Bernalillo. The county sometimes provides a few resources to the town, but again, it's one of those situations where we have to be at the table. The mayor has to be at the table fighting for Bernalillo and making sure that we're not ignored by the county commission. It is an uphill battle, but it's one that I've taken on since day one, and one that I'll continue to take on. And I do have to say that in all honesty, the chairman doesn't like my position, but he's always been respectful. He'll return my phone calls. I may not get what I want, but at least I feel that he respects my position as mayor of the town, whether I disagree. I'm sorry the candidate for Rio Rancho Council is gone, because the commission needs to keep hearing that as it's designed now on the sale, that the time extension will do nothing but hurt for Rio. I've said that publicly, I've said it privately, and I'll continue to say that, and we need to find ways to work together. I'll stop there. Thanks for the question.
Right on.
Vote for going on like that. I second the motion because if they don't vote for the mayor now, they're not going to vote for the mayor. The new mayor will come in. The second motion is what Mr. Torres said.
If you didn't have the opportunity to see what happened at that meeting with the mayor, he was being really nice. His opinion and voice was out of the community and how we all felt. And it was very evident that our neighbors to the west don't think about Bernalillo at all, about how it will affect us and how it's going forward. And we need to have a strong voice in that, not only as mayor, but even as a council. We have to work together as a team with our administrators, with our commissioners, to make sure that as we move forward, it doesn't destroy our own town. I mean, I don't think we're thinking about it at all. So, Properly, but I very said I would like to thank Ivan for doing part of the commission meeting, Commissioner Brooke, and Mr. Rickwell. Everybody, when you were all said and done, we all knew that this is one meeting that we had school board members, we had the mayor there, we had council members there, we had our neighbors to the west, to the north, and the south, talking, strong point about why we should do that, we should do that, but at the end, the mayor said it was all set up, they do whatever they do, with no regard to what the town is saying. Thank you.
I would just echo what the mayor said. I'm a Democrat, and I think most of these people there are eventually Republican. So, and we need to keep our values here, and we need to keep those strong. So we can keep this democracy, we bring to keep it. But I do agree with the mayor. And he's been a good voice, and he's been very well tempered in that. And I think that approach will keep our place in the, at least in the neighborhood. But I think that we count loud enough, long enough, that we're not happy with that, but I think we are on the right track.
So at this time, does anyone have any further questions? I think we're good. I want to thank
throw these out because of the snow, it might creep over the flag.
The question you didn't hear was, do we have snow removal? 313 and 550 are the responsibility of NMDOT. So that's part one to the answer to the question. The other thing is we do have some snowfalls. Bernalillo doesn't typically get many snowfalls that require removal, and we don't have a lot of equipment. So typically our crews will hit the arteries, but they don't hit every single neighborhood.
I think we're going to close it out now. I want to thank all of you guys for coming. I want to each of the candidates, you guys did a wonderful job. Thank you all for your For those of you at home, to everyone watching, early voting for the municipal election has begun. You can vote anytime. You can also request your absentee ballot from the town clerk. Yes, Ida. So please, make sure you vote. Tell your friends to vote. Tell your friends what you heard here today. With that being said, have a good Friday. Thank you all for coming.
Good question.